Sometimes technology has a life of its own. My microphone was working all fine yesterday, and suddenly this morning it would not detect. And I was like, oh my gosh, why? I'm doing all right, actually. I mean, I'm a morning person, so I really love the morning. It's so beautiful, so quiet, hear the birds chirping. So I'm in a really good state. Yes, I've always been a morning person and an early sleeper. Morning is kind of like my zen time. I have Asperger's, I'm autistic. Literal and direct communication works best for me. I was born in Malaysia and I grew up in Malaysia. Yes, I feel so fortunate to have grown up in Malaysia. Malaysia is a very multicultural country, very diverse. And the interesting thing about Malaysia is that there's so much hybrid cultures. And that's kind of what I love so much about Malaysia. Growing up together, we have created hybrid cuisine, like baba nyonya or mama. So it's like a combination of Indian and Malay cuisine or Chinese and Malay cuisine. And that is so unique. It's kind of part of our culture to be very humble, to invite each other to each other's homes. There's so many celebrations because there's so many different cultures, different religions and different races. And I think that is so important. And that comes so handy in today's world to understand that is beautiful. It's beautiful in their own way. Has been my muse, I would say, from my music, from things that I create, fusing East and West in my instrumentation, in my music, even in my fashion. I just love fusing East and West in everything I do. And that is definitely comes from my upbringing in Malaysia. I was very fortunate to grow up in a biracial household. So my earliest memory would be my father's Hindustani music. Memorable moments is when we went to India and I was about 4 years old and I heard the snake charmer playing on the street and I was just so mesmerized. I was just like stuck in time. I couldn't even get my eyes or my ears off the snake charmer. And I would keep begging my father, please ask him to play more. I was so smitten by world music and how powerful and mystical it has this kind of emotional palette that I just I was just so awestruck by it. Of course, my mom playing her traditional keroncong and Malay music, my father's Hindustani music, me learning classical piano as a child. Those were kind of like my foundation, I would say. My mother enrolled me in piano lessons. I think I was about 6 because I was just banging on the piano, just, after a while, I guess there's only so much you can take as a parent. You're like, do you want to take piano lessons? Um, I just love the pedal of the piano and the echo of it. And I think that's one reason why I gravitate towards the gamelan so much. The gamelan is a traditional pitch percussion instrument or orchestra, originally from Indonesia. And Malaysia kind of adopted it. So I think that's one reason why I really gravitate towards the gamelan. I have Asperger's, so having structure really helps me a lot. However, unfortunately, I had a very abusive piano teacher, and I was studying under her for about 10 years. It had a lot of damage on my self-esteem. However, it did instill a lot of discipline in me. That experience of going through an abusive environment for something that I love so much actually gave me a lot of emotional experience, I would say. I mean, it's a very painful experience to love something so much and go through so much pain at the same time. I would say that kind of translates into my music. And I think that's really important, especially for children. Having that nurturing environment is so important to instill the love and discipline in working on something. Teaching through fear is really old school, but that's not really healthy. I love that. Yes, me too. And I think it's also because it doesn't really reflect who we are, because we are hybrids, and you have that global citizen mindset. A lot of us are growing up in different countries from where we originally were born, and a lot of us are migrating for work, for relationship reasons, for travel. I think that's what's so important and so beautiful. And having that global citizen mindset is so important because that way we do not see other people as separate from us. We understand that this whole world is our country. This whole world is our home. If everybody is to start adopting that kind of mindset, I think we would solve so many problems or challenges or wars in today's world.